You see, the use of agricultural pesticides, what we call agro-pesticides or agrochemicals, is not something very old. It's not as if the new generation of farmers were born and they just got to know it. There has been a deliberate marketing of those products from the West, particularly from North America. A company that used to be called Monsanto in 1974 pioneered the production of a particular herbicide, a weed killer, known as glyphosate. Glyphosate is a chemical product that is the active ingredient, oftentimes the main active ingredient in most of the herbicides sold on our streets and in our agricultural input markets. Now, they come in names. Hardly would you even see it directly written as glyphosate. It could end with something sate. There is a convention in naming of chemical products, which include pharmaceuticals. Like you see paracetamol, Panadol, the ones that those acetaminophen products, they end with a certain kind of name. If Emzo does it, you call it Emzamol or something like that. There's a convention. It may not be very open to everybody. So it may not come in the full name, clear name as glyphosate. But the very popular composition that was pushed by this company, which was Monsanto, was Roundup. And it is when you read through the fine print, the components, the constituents, that you would now see glyphosate as one of the constituents. They may indicate the percentage of that cocktail. Generally and traditionally, weeds used to be removed mechanically through weeding and through other agronomic practices like mixed cropping and shifting cultivation. You run away, you go to another place. Or changing the crops, interchanging the crops that you cultivate. Now, in the search for convenience, this chemical company brought up a chemical called glyphosate. This particular chemical herbicide, glyphosate, was commercialized in 1994. And since its commercialization, the Americans adopted it and overwhelmingly used it on their crop fields. And sooner than later, they began to experience challenges. And one of the challenges was not even with the humans, it was with the crops themselves. Because it was so broad, it's a broad spectrum herbicide, that it was non-selectively killing crops. It was killing even the crops, particularly the soybeans, because agricultural development was moving into soya for its oil content and feed production for livestock. Now, one of the fallouts and the challenges that glyphosate brought in now is the development of genetically modified soybeans or genetically modified crops like maize. They call it corn. But aside from that, other environmental hazards, and when I say environmental, I'm looking about the biotic and the abiotic environment. The environment out there began to face some challenges, like population of pollinators was beginning to wane because this herbicide was also adversely affecting them. It was also affecting other soil borers like earthworms. Aside from that, it was affecting human health and the biotic environment within the human person and animal health. So they shipped it to Africa. Africa was just developing, and a lot of Africans were farmers, as we still are today. So they shipped these things. And you can see one of the fallouts we are experiencing today. Many people, because of the lack of awareness, may not be able to connect these dots. For example, there is a popular herbicide, butachlor, that is used on rice farms. And you understand that most of our rice is cropped around Fadama areas. That means the land is adjoining water bodies, natural surface water bodies. Even where it doesn't adjoin to get, it's not adjoining to a natural water body, it has a way, water is abundant in that location because rice is a heavy water consumer. So this butachlor seeps into groundwater. And it could find itself into boreholes or shallow wells. If it is the land is adjoining to surface water bodies like rivers and streams, it could leach into the water, and it's very dangerous to aquatic life. Some species of fishes will not thrive in those waters. And you begin to wonder, why are some of the fishes that our parents knew not found in our waters today? Because those chemicals have leached into the surface waters. So these specifications require expert training knowledge to know that, oh, this land here, this cropping field here is too close to water body, so I should not apply this here. Because if I apply it and if it gets into a surface flowing water, it could go far beyond, much beyond the field, beyond the field of application, and endangering people who may not be conscious that this chemical was applied upstream, somewhere on a land that is adjoining to the river upstream. So sometimes, the way people in the villages live, they will drink the water, they will use it for domestic cooking, and they end up with those challenges. So it's very important that we should abstain from them and seek alternatives that are non-inorganic chemical based. In chemical warfare, in the chemical industry, if it could harm one person, it should not be there. What are the options that could be advised as alternatives? What did our parents used to do? There are a lot of mechanical approaches that could be used as alternatives. And if you must use chemical-based pesticides, there are a lot of biopesticides that are derivable from plants. Phytochemicals that are around the environment are already adaptable to the environment. For example, many of our farmers don't know that garlic that they use and onion that we use in our cuisine can be the essential oils from those plants can be extracted and be used as pesticides on agricultural fields or agricultural produce. We have neem tree available everywhere. It's even used in desert control. That is, as a Giracta indica, we call it chemically. The neem tree is, in many of its parts, the bark, the leaves, the fruits, the seeds, have abundant chemicals that are biologically friendly, to the environment and to the humans and to animals, but are not friendly to weeds or, to pests in agricultural fields. And I could name many of them. In many places, people have used ducks. I don't know whether you know what a duck is, a form of a chicken, a bird. They've used ducks on rice fields to pick those pests, and they pick them as their own source of protein while clearing the rice field of those pests and leaving your rice to grow untampered. And there are many of such biological, physical, and biochemical, biopesticide approaches that can be used.